Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today we'll be doing a tour of my indoor cycling setup. It's winter here in the Pacific Northwest and I'm not able to get as many miles outdoor as I'd like with the worsening weather and the cooler temperatures. So this video I hope to be an excellent resource to those of you that are looking to get started with indoor cycling or just want to learn more. I'm going to be going through all the different parts of my setup and then talking a little bit more in depth of basically why I chose it and some maybe tips along the way. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're here in my rec room where I luckily sort of have a decent amount of dedicated space for the setup, as you can tell with the hidden ping pong table in the back. But starting here on the left, the trainer that I have is a mid-tier direct drive trainer, which is the Kickr Core. And then at the front is an accompanying Wahoo accessory, which is the Kickr Climb, which lets me mimic elevation changes while riding. And then that table there is the RAD Cycling table you can get from Amazon. And I just have a Dyson fan on an IKEA stool, as well as there I have a TV running Zwift using my PC Windows laptop. So from here, I want to dig into specifically different parts of the setup and then go into that. So let's talk about my trainer first. So let's go get into that. And here I have the Smart Direct Drive Trainer, the Wahoo Kickr Core. So first, in terms of why I chose this type of trainer, I wanted something that I can leave there year-round and ride as many miles as I want on it, and really direct drive fits that bill. Especially if you can have a spare frame or bike that you can just put on there, because usually with direct drive, it's sort of like another wheel, so there's a lot of tinkering around each time, making sure everything is shifting right. But if you can leave it on there, just works great. And you can reap the benefits of a quieter ride, not worrying about tire wear, and it's even slightly more accurate. So in terms of why I chose the Wahoo Kickr Core, it's always been sort of known to be a Goldilocks of a lower pricing and a lot of features. But moreover from that, as you all know, REI around here, they do a gear up sale every year where you get 20% off one item. And trainers have qualified for the past few years. And that's where I've gotten both this and the Kickr Climb you'll see later in this video. So definitely, if you're open to it, use that promotion. But anyway, less about that. Let's talk about the trainer software. So next we're going to talk about is the indoor cycling software. So I primarily use Zwift, as do a lot of people. And what it is basically a indoor cycling game. So basically it takes your trainer data, puts it into an avatar, and then you use that to sort of navigate along with this virtual world where there's often just thousands of other people running along at the same time. And you can do workouts, training plans, and other stuff, but really the best aspect of Zwift is the sort of social aspects, the idea that you can just ride with other people at any time. And then for me, you can even connect with your own friends in different countries or even in the same city. It's just really easy to sort of get on and ride together as long as you can coordinate at the same time to hop onto your bike. And it runs on any platform from sort of Android, iOS phones to computers. So here I have a bit of a more elaborate or luxurious setup with my PC laptop running down there on this sort of big TV stand. And I've sort of really enjoyed this mobile TV stand, mainly just because I don't really have to lock myself to a certain position. Though really you could just run this from your phone or anything else. But that's what I have to say for this. There's a ton of resources online for Zwift, and especially the website zwiftinsider.com. There's probably way more information than you ever need. So definitely check out more of that. But yeah, if you're looking for just dedicated platforms for pure training, or if you want a more realistic looking sort of environment, those do exist. So definitely be on the lookout for those, or comment if you want any more suggestions. So next thing I want to talk about was the sort of cockpit area with this cycling table and everything on top of it. So this is the RAD Cycling one that you can find on Amazon. It's basically one of the most cost-efficient options there, as the Wahoo table is basically twice the cost and they do the exact same thing. You can adjust this via the buttons on the sides, but it's just really awesome to have something like this. Or maybe you can build something that can effectively do the same thing, but just lets you have an area to put a lot of your gear as you're going along. So you're gonna have your phone there that's usually used to control some of these trainer software, your mouse for whatever you're using, and then I have my headset as well as a heart rate monitor over there, and then a towel, and then the food that I'm eating. So the towel is super important, as with any indoor rides, definitely the circulation is not as much as outdoor, so you'll be sweating a lot more. And then with any indoor setup, you definitely need a good cooling system. So here I just have a Dyson fan, and I think the main part of any cooling system, at least indoors, is just to making sure that the airflow can hit your face. So angling upwards if it's a box fan, so you don't need anything super complicated, just something that can do that. And then even better is if any way that they are adjustable. So for example, this one has like a remote. So I really enjoy this because as you're warming up, you don't want it at full blast, but then as you're preparing to do some of your harder efforts, changing that definitely is sort of a more premium experience. But other than that, that's all I had to say for that. So let's move on to the last thing. So last but not least, we come to the Kickr Climb. And this is definitely the most extraneous part of this whole setup. So I primarily like riding outdoors and up hills. So coming indoors, it was sort of a hard transition. And I just sort of splurged on this with the discount. And it's definitely made it a lot more bearable to do those longer rides and to practice up hills, even indoors. So, I mean, it's really just depending on how much of that sort of experience you want. I think in terms of the actual training elements and all whatnot, I think you probably can do without it. But if you do want just that same sensation completely when riding up virtual hills as well, then this can be a solid addition. But with that, I think that basically covers all I wanted to for this basic indoor tour. Let me know below if you have any questions, and let me maybe tell me about your own setup in the comments below. And I'll see you all in the next one.